Good morning and welcome back to Skydog Reviews. Well, it's been a while since I've done a Boston Scally review. I was just checking my YouTube channel last night, and it's like right before President's Day weekend when I did a 16 cap review. I do apologize for the delay. I've had it actually written up, and then I got some more hats, and then I got some more hats, and then I got some more hats. So I kept on waiting till I get a lull. I did have a lull in February. I didn't do a lot of hat purchasing in February. By the time I started buying hats, they started to come out with stuff I needed every week. And let's face it, at least in my profession, from about President's Day weekend to about mid-April, I get a little busy. Last thing I want to do my day off is film videos. My personality wouldn't be great. You know, you come home after getting beat up for a week. So I wanted to be something fresh, something good. So hopefully I have that today. Just came back from a cruise ship vacation, so I'm a little bit more refreshed and ready to go. If you haven't been on my channel before, welcome to Skydog Reviews. I'm just going to review some hats for you. It's actually going to be, I think, my largest review ever by one hat, just because I waited so long. But I'll put them on and just to show you what they look like in regular lighting on a person. All these hats that I'm going to show you, I purchased on my own. Nothing was given to me. I'm not promoting them for any kind of favoritism. I buy these hats because I love them. I really love the Boston Scally product, and I've had a great experience with it. And I just, again, I'm standing on the backs of others who, when I made my first Boston Scally purchase, I went out and scoured YouTube just to see videos. You know, what were the thoughts? What were the opinions? What did they really look like on people? You know, so in normal lighting, because on the website they're usually done in white boxes, so they tend to show up a little brighter, a little different coloring than you would normally get to see in regular lighting. And again, this isn't, you know, every lighting's going to be a little different, but it is what it is. So usually the thing we get to pricing, a lot of people do think these are expensive, and they are. They're not cheap. They're very level pricing, but there are ways to get discounts. There's always like a discount on the web page, usually for 10%. Sometimes you're on the 15 or even 20% on the big sales days, like, you know, Black Friday, for example, around the holidays. To help with you with your purchasing decisions, I have created a discount chart. I'll put it up right there. And don't worry about it. You don't have to like pause or whatever. I have a copy of this chart on my YouTube page. If you go there to go to community, click on the tab. There's only one document in there. It's this document right here. But this kind of just goes through and lists out what discount you're getting. And if you look how many hats you're purchasing, you can kind of go across and then come up with what's the best deal gonna be. 20% is hard to beat, but there is one scenario you can beat it. My favorite scenario, which is why I end up with so many hats, is the mix and match 3x3 hats. Boston Scally automatically knocks $25 off the cost of your purchase. And then you add a free ship code. I won't list it here just in case it changes, but it will be listed in the description. And that way I can change it if it does change in the future. It hasn't changed in a while, but I'll just leave it in there. That way, keep my videos up to date as possible. So you buy 3, you add free shipping. All the other discounts, you only can use one. You can't stack them. So you can't take a 20 and get the free ship. So the buy 3, 25 off, free ship, normally is your best deal. If you're buying more, you can get a fit. You'll just look at the chart and it will show you the best discount you can get from what you have available. All right, let's get on with the show. This is gonna take a while. I think I have 17 hats here. I'll start out, the one on my head is actually not one being reviewed. It's one of my first ones, one of my early ones anyways. It is the single panel GOAT, you know, for Tom Brady, you know. And this shirt's even out of date, 5-time Super Bowl champs, it was after they beat Atlanta. So I have a 6-time one, but it's in the wardrobe. So anyways, the GOAT, great hat. I love it. Looks great. Got a nice Patriots pin on there. But anyways, let's get on to the reviews. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm going to usually start with the single panels, work my way up by panel. And I'll start with the lighter weight fabrics and work my way to the heavyweight fabrics in each category. Today I only have 3. I pretty much have all the 5 panels, so I'm still waiting for BSCALLY to produce some. I'd really love a cotton twill 5-panel BSCALLY if you're listening. Anyway, on with the show. Start out with a hat or a cap I've reviewed before. These are great caps, the cotton twill, like I mentioned, but it is the Keeper. And this Keeper is in ice blue. It's a very light, pale blue. Ice is probably appropriate for it. Just a beautiful, beautiful hat. I love the fabric. It does have its own Keeper artwork. You've seen this before, but it's a lighthouse keeper. The contrast brim, another thing I really like about the series between the captain, the sailor, and the keeper. You have the hat color, and you usually have a contrasting brim, in this case, like a sandy brown brim. I have gone up to 2XL in these. Like my GOAT was a single XL, and then the pub ruined me with the larger fit, so I have gone up to 2XL. But you can see what a great looking cap. Great summertime cap. I mean, look, that coloring is just perfect. Heading out in the summer, man, you get some light blue shorts or a shirt on, man, this thing is just, a great cap. I mean, the Keeper's a great cap. I have several of them, actually. I have another to show you. But this one, in ice blue, got another Keeper for you in my next hat. This one is called Midnight Sky, so it is a black cap. I have a few black BSCALLYs, but again, another nice cotton twill, the single panel construction. You got the contrasting brim, which I really like. Again, we have the featured Keeper artwork to show you with the lighthouse keeper in there. On my first Keeper, I actually have one of the Cape Cod Lighthouse pins that I put on the side. I have not put pins on my other ones yet. But man, again, great fitting hat. I like them a little bigger. That's why I went up, as I said, originally in single X. I've gone up to the 2XL. But man, these are just fabulous caps. And to be honest, the cotton twill hats just seem to fit the best for me. I wore a couple of sailors on my cruise vacation. And man, it's just, not that the other hats don't fit great, but I mean, I don't know what it is. It's like that the soft cotton twill is just so comfortable. Like I love the captains, I love my sailors. But yeah, these are just great caps. Highly recommend them if you're looking for a single panel. Not quite as lightweight as some other fabrics. I call them more of a medium fabric. But still, you can get away with these, especially in single panel. They don't sit as low, so they don't cook quite as hot as like the wool poly blends or a full wool blend. So anyways, the Keeper in Midnight Sky. Next one, if you see my shirt, you kind of know where I'm going here. This is called the Patriot Game Day. So that is gray herringbone in navy. It is a wool or a wool blend. I think this just says wool, but I believe it's a wool blend. You got your traditional gray herringbone pattern on the top and the back, and then on the side you have that nice navy blue brim. You get the nice navy blue there. No particular special artwork. It's the normal BSCALLY artwork on the top, but you do get Patriot right there in the label, kind of like where the GOAT has, the Brady number. But man, I love this cap. I love the gray herringbone. I have that in a few different styles. But this one, man, a little bit more, classy of a style. When you throw that herringbone in, you can go a little bit more dressed up with it. And again, being a Patriots fan, the colors, I got plenty of attire to go with the gray and the blue. But man, what another nice single panel cap from BSCALLY. Definitely going into the rotation. A little warmer in the wool, so probably not going to see a lot of use here in Texas in the summer. But next fall and football season kicks off. This will be a good hat to wear into work. Next cap is also a single panel, and it's also part of the Patriot Collections. Patriot Collector's Edition, number 87. So very similar last caps that you get the navy blue on top, and they call it Patriot Gray on the sides and the brim, and then on the back, it continues that navy. So it's a slick looking cap. I have another one, the 6 rings is kind of like the opposite of this, where it's blue on the sides, gray on the top. So it's a very similar hat, but this is the number 87. So for those who aren't Patriots fans, you can see there's the regular standard BSCALLY company logo inside, but you got the number 87. And for those unaware, 87 is Rob Gronkowski. Yes, one of the greatest Patriots of all. Another great fitting hat. Well, again, I'm a sucker for the contrast, so I do like the gray and blue contrast in this. Again, this one is a wool poly blend. So it's going to be on a little warmer side. Again, probably not be seeing a lot of use here for me in the next several months as Texas goes in the convection oven temperature zone. But then things start to cool off in the fall. Football starts up again. This is going to be a great cap to wear. Again, so that's the Patriots Collector's Edition 87. My next cap is a BSCALLY cap, but it's a little unusual in that you can't buy it on the BSCALLY webpage. So they had a deal with Amazon back when they started, I believe, and they made some caps that Amazon only has. So if you want this next cap, you're gonna have to go on Amazon. So that whole price chart doesn't mean a hill of beans here. You're gonna have to go through the Amazon pricing and everything like that. But this one doesn't really have a name per se. It's just called from the Heritage series. And if you look at it, you have seen this cap before in a different colorway. The Hare, that beautiful cap BSCALLY has on the webpage. The only real difference being the gray color is a little different, and instead of the blue stripe we're seeing here in the plaid, of course you have your green stripe. But man, another great looking cap. I love the Hare the first time I saw it, eventually bought it. So boom, that plaid just continues all the way through, even into the brim. We do have some different artwork, again. So this is the Heritage series from BSCALLY Co. Again, only available on Amazon. We'll put this on, also bought it in XXL. Yeah, so this is also your wool blend or your wool cap. So it's a warmer cap, but man, it is a gorgeous cap. It's a lot like the Hare. This is another keeper. It's going in the rotation. Again, probably more for the fall, winter, and early spring, because I'm already feeling my head heat up a little bit with the last 3 caps being in wool and starting to get a little warm here already in Texas. But man, this is a winner. I mean, I love this cap, and I was able to get on Amazon. So there are this and a few others that were Amazon only releases. So go check them out. Great cap. If you like the Hare, I definitely want to get my hands on one of these. And that wraps up my single panels. So from there, we're heading into our 6 panels. And talking about how everything's a little warm for me, getting to Texas here. I started getting into my lightweight caps here. 6 panels, I started late, so I'm still working my collection up. On the first ones here in the 6 panel is the Trainer. Great hat. It's a poly cotton blend. It is light blue is the color. It's a beautiful, nice light blue. Very similar. It's like material, if you're looking at it, almost like a Cape Cod, Cape Codders. It does have the vent holes and does not have a liner on the Trainer series. So it's one of their coolest caps. And this one's nice. It has a nice contrasting blue brim, which I really like, as you already know. And then we'll look on the inside here. And again, no artwork, no logo, no liner. So they use like some kind of, probably a chemical, like, it's not Teflon, I forget what they call it, but to protect the fabric from your sweat on the inside. These are designed to be sweating. They're designed to be, you know, out and hot, or when you're running around. You know, again, those vents, a little cooler. Nice lightweight cap. I have a couple of these in 8 panel and in 6 panel. Oh yeah. Man. Yeah, I love the Trainers. The Trainer's nice. I feel it already. My head feels a lot cooler than when I was wearing those wools. Beautiful cap. Great cap to have on those warm days. Or again, like I said, if you're going to run around a lot or sweat, you're going to be out like in Florida in the heat and humidity, this is a good cap to have. Keeps the sun off you. Keeps you stylish. Trainer, 6 panel. And what was that, light blue. The next hat is one I've been waiting for a while. I didn't start collecting scallies to the second half of 2023. So I saw a lot of hats on the website that I couldn't get. So I saw one on there and I've been waiting for it and had to wait till the season came up again. So this next hat, it's not a color I normally wear, but I had to get it because what we're looking at here is the Master. Yes, the Master came out just in time for the beginning of April. It does have, I don't know if it's necessarily designed to go with this. It does have a pin. It is called a birdie pin. They do have a birdie single panel. It's lightweight, so I don't know if it's designed for that or this, but it goes really good with this colorway. Nice lightweight material, similar to the Trainer. Still, it's more of a cotton poly instead of a poly cotton, so it's probably a little bit more cotton than the Trainer series. It does also have this tag, which I think we had on the bare knuckle. You've seen it a couple times. I think the Jetty and Cape Cod plaid has this tag. So it's not everywhere, but it's nice call out with the red, with the yellow Boston Scally B. But man, beautiful. And then that nice contrasting yellow brim. I think they had a specific color, birdie yellow. So yeah, the fairway green and then the birdie yellow brim. Great. Just like the Trainer, it has the vent holes. From there, you can see them on the inside. It does not have a liner or artwork, so it's then designed for like warmer weather. The old version used to have the Master, kind of like you saw the 87 and the Gronkowski Patriots number 87. To me, I mean, I don't know if it's the case, but I know the Masters get very picky about their logos, and it looked a little too much. It was in their font, so I'm assuming that they had to get a cease and desist letter, so that's why this year's version does not have that logo, I'm assuming. I'll guess, but I've seen other products have similar problems with the Masters. So, but man, what a great looking cap. Even though I don't wear green, I wore this sucker through the Masters weekend. You know, I was working, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful cap. You could wear this if you went out golfing. Again, it's the Trainer designed to be sweat in. But man, yeah, it's just a nice Masters cap to wear. I've always enjoyed watching the Masters since I was a kid. My father, who golfs now quite a bit, but my uncle, who has since passed away, was a real big golf fan. He golfed a lot. Not like obsessive. I mean, he was just really good at it. but I caddied for him. That's how I got into caddying when I was a kid at his country club in our local town. He's the one that told me about it. I did caddy. He was attentive. I did caddy for his partner for quite a while, who was not as good. So I found all sorts of places on the course that you probably aren't supposed to find, but I get real good at finding golf balls in weird places. So anyways, they'd come over like on Father's Day and we'd watch the U.S. Open, and if they'd be around, Easter sometimes would coincide with the Masters and near the Masters, and we'd watch the Masters. And I just remember watching with him and enjoying it. And I eventually picked up the game because of him. I golfed with my cousins a couple times. I started golfing with some of my friends, and but he's the one that kind of lit the fire. And this Masters just kind of reminds me of that. Right? I'm watching golf on the holidays, like the spring and summer holidays with my uncle. And so this is kind of more of a special hat for me. I really, really love it. And unfortunately, I think they're already sold out. So if you want this, you're probably gonna have to wait to next March or April. But if you can get your hands on one, it's a great cap. All right, we have a little another cap. Again, this is probably more of a Bostonian New England fan. I bought this I've been looking at this for a while. Just didn't really have anything to wear this with per se. But I needed another hat for a Mix and Match 3. So guess what? Sometimes you got to pull the trigger. And I picked up the Teddy in red. And this is a 6-panel. It is cotton. It's a little heavier than the trainers. So the material, very similar to the Youks. If you have a Youk, I've reviewed those. But, just a plain red cap. No stitching, nothing really calling it out. But nice bright red, probably good for Red Shirt Fridays. If you're familiar with Red Shirt Fridays, remember everybody deployed. A lot of folks at my place of work wear red shirts. I do as well. A good cap for that day. It's got a nice contrasting brim, really dark Red Sox, navy. Open up the inside, does have a liner. It's the standard artwork, but you do have the 9 in a circle. The Red Sox, if you ever look up in right field, they have all the retired numbers. And of course, this hat, the Teddy, was named after homage of Ted Williams, probably the greatest pure hitters to exist in the game of baseball. But man, what a great hat. And the red's a nice call out too. Ted Williams, if you ever been to Fenway and sat out in the bleachers in right field, there's a red seat out there, which represents a Ted Williams home run. He hit it pretty far back in the bleacher seats. So there's a sea of green seats and there's one red seat, kind of matching up with this. But man, there's another great 6-panel from BSCALLY. They sit deeper. For those transitioning from like baseball caps, 6 panels are great. A little bit more in that baseball style. Lovely cap. Glad to have it. Again, a Red Shirt Friday cap probably for me. Probably worn as often as some of my other favorites. Just because of the color. I don't wear red necessarily too often other than, say, Fridays. But maybe if I'm wearing a Red Sox jersey, a blue one. This is the old, if you were in around the mid-70s, the Red Sox used to have like a primary red hat with a blue brim. I love that hat. That's what I grew up watching. So I usually prefer that one if I can get it. But the Teddy, 6-panel in red. Another great BSCALLY cap. All right, back into my favorite fabric. Going into another cotton twill hat. And this one is the Sailor. And the Sailors, they're coming with that compass rose stitched into the back left corner panel. But again, another I love that cotton twill. It's almost like a distressed cotton. You can kind of see it there. Just, a great fabric, very comfortable. Does have the contrasting brim. In this case, it's black. We do have its own interior special artwork for the Sailor from BSCALLY. Just great hats. yeah, I love the fit. I love the feel of these hats. Like the keeper, like the captain. This one, they call it salted copper is the color. So like a much darker brown khaki, you know. So not as light as the khaki or stone or something like that. Definitely more into the browns. So I guess that's why salted copper is probably a good description of it. Wore the sailors quite a bit. I was just, like I said, just got off a cruise ship and I have a couple other sailors, and I just love the hat so much. So I do have several colors in it, and I don't know what else to say about this. You've seen these my reviews in this past. This is a great cap. Okay, lastly in the 6 panels, this is one of my most recent pickups. I picked this up actually while I was on the cruise ship. I had ordered just prior to the cruise. I had made an order, and I'll have those hats here towards the end here. And so I had to leave before they arrived. So my pet sitter picked those up when she came to visit the dogs. But of course, I'm on the cruise ship, and I forget what I was doing. I don't know if we had finished eating breakfast or lunch or something like that, and I'm on my Facebook page, and a hat popped up, and I'm like, figures, right? I'm gonna have another expensive weekend, but it's a hat I had to have. We'll get into it, and I'll give you the history behind it, because this, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh man, this has got to be bought. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the Cheevers in black. So great 6 panel. Boom, black 6 panel. I have a few of these. Very dark construction. There's a little differentiation on this one. You get this goaltender's mask with stitches on it. This is embroidered into the back. You also have that same logo available on a pin, so I have that as well. And then on the interior, you get the lining with a like photo liner of Gary Cheevers. He was the Boston Bruins goaltender in the 60s and 70s. He was the head coach for a while in the 80s. But if you look at the mask, you see all these stitches drawn on. And those were a thing between him and the trainer. I believe his name was Frosty Forstall. He'd get hit in the mask during practice or a game, and the trainer would come out and he'd just kind of look at him and go, so what do you think, Frosty, 6? Basically mean if I didn't have my mask, I'd have to take 6 stitches there, and just started. So what Cheevers did was became iconic. And that's why you get these on the logos. I did the same thing with my street hockey helmet. Every time I get hit, I'd take out the red paint and paint stitches in it as well, kind of as an homage to Cheevers when I was a kid. But man, what a great looking cap. Nice contrasting Bruins gold brim. And again, that material in the inside, it's silk. It's almost like the Sundays. You have Sunday. I have another hat has similar lining. I'll show that here in a minute. But nice 6 panel XXL, fits great. Boom. I mean, again, it's a heavier blend, wool poly. It's a winter hat, so probably won't see a lot of use until next winter for me with the heat coming up. But Jerry Cheevers, like I said, as a kid growing up, I wanted to be a goaltender, so I did in street hockey. And like I said, I painted my mask just like he did. So he was kind of inspiration for me, and he was the Bruins goaltender, and I was watching, Bobby Orr and, Wayne Cashman, the Chief. I mean, man, they had such a great team. Brad Park was on those later teams, man, just some great teams. And then later became coach, and I actually got to meet him once. In the 80s when I was caddying, like I said, at the country club, when I picked up my caddy job when I was a little older, the group of guys I was caddying for ended up playing against Jerry Cheevers and Barry Peterson, who was the center of the Bruins at the time. Barry Peterson did give me a golf ball after the round, so I should have had him sign it, but it just didn't feel right. But yeah, so I did get to meet him. So when this came on the ship on that Monday, and I'm like, gotta have it. We're out on West Coast time, so that's a 9 a.m. Friday purchase if you want to get it. So like immediately after breakfast, I was like, boom, I'm out in the piazza, and I'm like watching the clock, and I'm like, okay, here we go, get my 3, on we go. So I did get in early enough to get the Cheevers, early enough that I got the puck. Again, the Jerry Cheevers logo puck. It is a foam rubber puck, so you can squeeze it. If pucks were this soft, you wouldn't need a mask. But anyway, so you did get the little Boston Scally freebie there if you got in early enough. And so you got the Cheevers puck to go along with this great Cheevers cap. So the Cheevers. I think that wraps up my 6 panels. All right, so the 8 panels are going to kind of go a little bit out of order. Like I said, I'm going to go light to heavy in the first part I will, and then my last 3 are the ones that just arrived yesterday. Or not yesterday, I believe they arrived when I came back from vacation. So I had like 2 boxes. I had the Cheevers and that one. So into the 8 panels, they're 8 panels, easily identify. 1, they have 8 panels, and 2, they have the button on top. First one is we're going into the 8-panel trainer, and this is listed as a poly rayon, so even a lighter weight fabric than even the 6 panels. And this is a blue and gray plaid. I do have the gray plaid. Again, we'll see the vent holes throughout the trainer series. So I'm on the Masters, so it's gonna breathe a little better. It's a nice plaid. I really like this one, actually even better than the gray one. This probably kind of goes more with what I wear. Contrasting brim, this one is in black. Again, no liner, so you just got the taped seams, and you can kind of see it's all black in there, but they do have the vent holes that go all the way through. Oh yeah, nice, comfortable trainer cap when things start to heat up. And the 8 panels, for some reason, like I said, this is one of my favorite fitting style of caps. 5 panels, my favorite kind of cap, but the 8 panels, the fit, the finish, the look, it's just a really great cap. The trainers are also great, especially coming to this warmer weather. Fabulous cap, 8-panel trainer. Next one is one I've kind of looked at. Kind of similar to a few other caps, the Independents, if you have those. I've reviewed those. But it's another lightweight 8-panel. This is called the Rocket Pop. Lightweight cotton, and it's called Breeze Blue. So it's a lighter blue. It's not like a navy. It's not but it's not like a light blue. It's, like I said, you can get the light blue, kind of almost the ice blue from like that first keeper I showed you in the vent holes. Contrasting on the top with that same color. And then the brim, boom, a little bit more of a splash there for you. Get the light blue with the Rocket Pops. I don't know if that's a New England thing, but yeah, the Ice Cream Man, or even in the store, you get the Rocket Pops, the red, white, and blue pops, kind of thing of summer. It does have a liner that matches that same theme. No special artwork other than the liner itself, but the actual logo is just a standard logo. And you can tell with the liner, it is very thin, kind of like the Independent. So you do have the vent holes. They're not direct to your head. There is a liner there, but it's a more breathable liner. It's a thinner liner than their standard liner. So you should still get good breathability in the summer. Boom, put it on. Lightweight cap. I don't know if I've already mentioned, but the lightweight caps tend to fit a little tighter versus the wool caps. Just when they're made, the lighter fabrics just tend to fit a little bit tighter, the wool cap a little looser. You can stretch them if you need to, but I like that fit. Great looking cap. I wasn't quite sure about the artwork, but in the never-ending search for the perfect lightweight caps while I'm sitting here in Texas, I decided it was eventually time to give this one a shot, because I do like the Independence caps so much. I do have 2 of those. Those are great caps if you can get your hands on those. But the Rocket Pop is another, very similar hat style to that, just a different color, So, yep, great summer hat, great 8-panel hat from BSCALLY. You can tell this one will kind of date you how far this hat collection's been building up. The next one here is a hat from St. Patrick's Day, or pre-St. Patrick's Day, the Lucky. This year they did it in 3 colors. I wasn't a big fan of the green. The only green one I have is the Masters. But they did it in black this year, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that one. So similar in style as the previous 2 caps I've shown you. It does have vent holes, so it's designed to be a little lighter weight. The fabric is listed as soft cotton, so this is almost identical to a Youk. I mean, if you have a Youk, and there'll be one later. So if you haven't seen my reviews on the Youk, it is almost identical in construction, that soft cotton. It's a very comfortable feel. Great contrast with the green, with the black. It does have a pin, so I did get the pin. I did get the Lucky pin. And it also has a shamrock on it, but it's a right rear corner instead of straight on the back like in most of the times the shamrock. So it's a little different, a little, stitched in thing. So it definitely has a call out for St. Patty's Day, good St. Patty's Day hat. Look at the inside, again, you get that lightweight liner, so the vent holes still work because it's more ventable liner, but there is a liner. You do get the Lucky artwork in there instead of the standard BSCALLY logo. And much like the other 8 panels, like a Youk, it's just a great fitting cap, at least to me, 2XL. Yeah, good cap. And like I said, it's not that bright green that kind of limits to, its usage for year-round usage, unless you wear those colors a lot, which I don't. This one you can get away with a little more, so there is green in there, so if you do have some green or something like that, but it's not going to be bright and loud, unless that's your thing. Some people like that, and those red hats definitely, like the Teddy is definitely loud. They're going to see you across the room in that one. But the Lucky is a nice hat. Did not have one of these. This is my first one. But again, if you have a Youk, very similar hat. Okay, and then this next cap is one that I initially didn't like on the website, just because of the way they had stitched in some artwork in the back of the cap. I like this. I like the look. I like the color. I just couldn't get it in. And then I went to go to pull the trigger, out of my size. So I had to wait a little bit and eventually came back in. So, of course, one of my purchases needed a 3rd hat to make it up. So I picked up the Rocky Marciano, the Brockton Bomber. It's another New England sports theme cap, if you want to call it that. But I mean, it's just a black 8-panel, nice red, like the full leather button call out. And then the difference is they have a signature on the back. So you have the Rocky Marciano signature. So that's really why I was kind of like, I don't carry someone's name on the back of my hat, but he was a heck of a fighter. You can read up on him. He was, I think he went undefeated. I don't think anybody ever beat him, even when he was older. Maybe not a Tyson type older, like he goes a bit Jake Paul this summer, but very good fighter. And he was from the Boston area, so very famous in Massachusetts. But the hat, nice black, get the nice red faux leather contrasting brim, and just like the Cheever, you get like that that faux silk, but that photo liner. So you get a picture of Rocky Marciano in the liner there for you. And again, does have a signature down there. It matches up with the one in the back. So it's a great cap, good signature cap. And, you know, I guess get more interest into it. And I started, when I was a kid, you know, they had like Muhammad Ali, they had, you know, boxing was big. It was on like ABC Wild World of Sports, the big matches. It wasn't all pay-per-view like it is now. It was a little less sketchy than boxing became, you know, promoters and everything like that. But I did start doing fight camp, kind of at-home boxing. And so I started, you know, looking into boxing again, just more out of nostalgia. But so when I saw this and I started getting the boxing, I'm like, yeah, I need to get this cap. So here it is, the Marciano. It's a sharp-looking cap, man. You could wear this one out. I thought about bringing it on the cruise, but it's a little warm. It is a wool poly blend, so it's going to be on that warmer side. The previous ones are all cotton or poly. So this, we're getting into the warm again. I can feel it already heating up on the head. But a beautiful hat. Absolutely gorgeous cap. Great cap to wear in the fall and winter. But I mean, it's gorgeous. You can wear this, like I said, you could dress up to the nines on this, and you'd look right in place. So, the Rocky Marciano. Okay, and then the last of the scheduled hats. Here's a hat, another hat, one of those hats that I looked at and I'm like, yeah, I like that hat. You know, or that cap online, and I looked at it in the BSCALLY webpage, and I'm like, what would I wear it with? So, and then I'm like, you know, I'll get that. You know, I needed a third hat, and I'm like, I'll get it, and I can find ways to get stuff to wear with it. And of course, it disappeared from the website. So again, come March, you know, getting in towards Easter, cap reappeared. They put out actually a big Easter, they put some new ones out this year too, which I do not have, but I did get this, the Hare. This has been reviewed by other reviewers. I've seen it out there, and like I looked at it, I was like, man, it looks nice. I just don't have a lot of pink, so I have actually bought shirts to go with this. So the Hare 8-panel, it's beautiful. They list it as a blue-gray plaid and pink. So you do have the pink call-out stripes there. It is definitely wool poly, so it's on the warmer side. It does have a nice pin for the hair. Nice rabbit there wearing the cap. But man, just it's a nice cap, beautiful looking cap. Wool 8-panel is gonna fit great. You get that bright pink call-out and the bright pink liner, again with that artwork showing up again with the hair. I mean, it's a gorgeous cap. And to me, it was just finding something to wear it with. I have done that, got my hands on one, and I'm glad I did. Again, I almost brought this on the cruise, but wool poly, and it actually wasn't that warm. I probably could have gotten away with some wool polys. I brought a lot of my caddy collection and sailors and lightweight caps on the cruise, and it was cold. Not cold, but in the 60s, you know, relatively. It's already in the 80s here in Texas, so it's all relative, folks. But man, the Hare, this is a beautiful cap. I did get I said a couple shirts that go with it. Something that, again, I'll probably wear more in the early spring, just kind of seasonal kind of cap, but it is gorgeous, especially when you get it on your head. Man, it's just a beautiful cap. Great job by BSCALLY, the Hare. All right. So where are we going now? We're still on 8 panels. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you one of my other free gifts that went back. I showed you the puck with the Cheevers. With the Lucky, I got a free shot glass. So you get in early. A lot of times you get free merch. So got a nice shot glass from BSCALLY. Got that foam puck with the Cheevers. I got that shot glass from the Lucky. It was kind of hiding here in my next group of hats. So I'm down to my last 3, and this is probably gonna be my longest video ever, just judging by the time on the camera. So let's get to it. Boom. Some of these late releases. This one I got, I believe, with the Cheever, just came in the mail yesterday. The Youk in red. So if you've seen the channel, you've seen I've reviewed this hat a couple times. The navy one, the cool gray one. The difference with this one is I was able to get the pin. So the pin has never been in stock. So they restocked the pins. I was able to get a pin with that. It's the same Youk construction, that nice soft cotton. It's bright red shirt Friday cap. It's got the vent holes. It has the, the same blue and red plaid brim for the contrast. It's got the Youk logo in the underneath that matches the pin. There is a liner, but again, it's one of those thin liners. You can kind of almost see through it, so the vent holes will be functional. It's a little cooler. And instead of like the Lucky is almost like identically to the Youks here. So this is the Youk in red. You already know my opinion on the Youks. I love Kevin Youkilis when he was playing with the Sox. I love his hat even more. It's just a beautiful hat. This one's bright. You got to stand out a little bit, so you got to rock it. If you're going to wear this one, you're going to be noticed. So great cap. I won't go any further since I've already reviewed it several times. The Youk in red. Oh, the last two. Again, the last two is so they arrived after I left, but I was able to purchase them prior to my cruise. These are kind of special to me. These are, we'll start in. I'll introduce the caps. I'll give you the stories here. The first one is the Derby. Again, for the Kentucky Derby coming up here. It's another 8 panel. It's a lightweight 8 panel. The Derby is considered light cotton. So the Independence, the Rocket Pop, kind of think of that as far as term light cotton, but it is a blue and white seersucker. So it's a little different than what you're used to. Again, it has that pin on top, which is like a navy blue. It's going to match the brim. They have a pin available for it for the Derby. But it's just, I saw this cap. It was out of stock, and kept waiting for it to come back in stock, come back in stock. It wouldn't. But, yeah. Eventually, as we get into the season, coming up close to May, when the Kentucky Derby's run, so they re-released it. But one thing I did with this cap, when I went on the website and I never seen the restock, I went in and you can go on the website and get notified. You can put your email address and then we'll notify when it becomes available. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And I don't know how well that's going to work. But the cool thing about when I did it with the Derby, when it came out a couple Fridays ago, I actually got an email in the morning before 12 Eastern and said, hey, Derby's back in stock. I went to the website, it wasn't back in stock. I went back to the email and they had a link. Clicked the link in the email and there it was in stock. And I could purchase it before 12 Eastern. Basically, once they restocked it and put it in, if you put that email in, I'm assuming they put you out ahead of the line. So if you really, really, really want that hat, it's out of stock, go put your email address in and you may be able to pick it up before they re-release, like when they did with this one, it was re-released into the Gen Pop. I was able to purchase it prior to 12 Eastern. Now I didn't because I wanted to buy another 2 caps to get my deal, and one wasn't getting released till 12 Eastern, so I had to wait. But I could have. So that was pretty cool. That was something I had never experienced before. So it again, it may behoove you if there's a cap on the website that's out of stock, go ahead and put your email address in there and you may be able to pop it a little early if they're doing a re-release like they did with this. And then it disappeared off the website, so I figured it was done, but it saved it. And when they re-released it, bang. So if you want a Masters for next year, go ahead and put your email in. You may be able to get it a little early. Ensure that you have the opportunity to buy it before they get released out to everybody else. But man, nice cap, nice lightweight cap. Well, back to this. Lightweight cotton, I can wear this one, I think, year round in Texas. And as far as horse racing goes, I am a little bit of a horse fan. I definitely watch Triple Crown races. But when I was growing up, my great aunt and great uncle were big into horse racing, like going to the races. Lived in northern Massachusetts, near New Hampshire border, and right across the border in Southern Hampshire is Rockingham Park. So they used to go there. That was their form of entertainment. They loved doing it. I went with them once or twice when I was a kid, didn't get it and everything like that. But then once my great uncle passed away, a couple times a year I'd go with my great aunt because she missed going. She didn't really like going alone, so I'd go with her and get an appreciation for like the stats and everything like that, how to research. And, something that I was able to do with my great aunt that, no one else, got to do with her. So I really, missed that time, now that she's passed on. I really missed having my great aunt and, going to the racetrack and watching the horses. The horses are amazing. And it's something even me and my wife do on occasion. It's rare. It's been a few years. But, we'll go do a day at races every now and again. Great cap for that. Great cap to wear during the races on the Triple Crown Day. Which leads me to my next cap. The final cap on this one is going to be the Triple Crown. So this is one of those patchworks. They call it a plaid patchwork cotton poly blend. So we've seen that before. And actually we've seen something similar to this cap before. Looking at it, and when I start on the website, the fabric kind of looks like the Kraken. Now the color's different, obviously. You got the multi-panels, so you got 4 different panels. So you have this kind of like your navy color, feels almost like a Mariner blue caddy. You have this plaid color, which I've seen, but I haven't seen on any particular Boston Scally cap in this color, but in other colors they show up. Then like a dark brown, it's even darker than what was I looking at earlier? The Sailor in that salted copper. It's a little darker than that. So it's not a dark brown, but it's a light brown, but other than that. And then you have this blue and tan with like a off-white, almost yellowish background plaid. And those are your colors. Now it also has a pin, great pin, the Triple Crown pin. Of course, got that. And then that same brown color for the contrasting brim. The blue liner, we're gonna see that Triple Crown logo in there again. So get this one on. Probably could use a steam. I haven't steamed the cap before, but this one just came out of the box a little wrinkly, so and it kind of sat there for a week because I was away. But man, what a great cap. Looking for a similar cap, like I said, the Kraken or the Kraken, however you wish to pronounce it, almost identical construction. I had that out earlier and I was looking at it, and it's very similar to the Caddy. If you have the Caddy and 8-panel, very similar constructions, very lightweight, be warm weather friendly. If you are going out to race, it's got some style into it. You get away with a lot of different colors just because of the patchwork of it. But I saw this and I was like, initially I was like, I don't know. And then I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, that needs to go in the collection. Something I can wear on Derby Day or any of the other Triple Crown races. It's just a nice cap. I love the Kraken. I love the Caddies. So the Caddies, I wore a ton of them on the cruise. So all of them, I brought all the Caddies. So it's a nice cap to have, even in warmer weather. This one, like I said, the style with the Triple Crown. But that's it. Another great cap by Boston Scally. I'm proud to have it in my collection. Well, that's a long one. Yeah, looking at the clock now, I have run out of caps to show you this week. So again, I do apologize. As you can see, I kind of built my collection up before doing the video. So I hope this finds you well. Shout out to all my scallywags at the Boston Scally Crew Facebook group. You know, those guys keep me motivated, probably spending too much money too. So, but yeah, there's some good discussion there, good pictures of caps. So if you're looking for additional resources, there are Facebook groups. And like I said, Boston Scally Crew, they've been nothing but great to me. Very friendly bunch, pretty inclusive. And that's Raya saying it's time to wrap up the video. So anyway, folks, thank you for joining Skydog Reviews. Have a great day.